Joanne, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm good. Glad to sit down with you. We are at the Apache, is it Apache Motel, Apache Hotel?
It's a motel.
Okay. Built in 1960, Tucumcari, New Mexico, a historic hotel. Now you have it.
Yes.
So give us a little background on how this came to be, how you came to be here at the Apache.
I was sitting in Sarasota, Florida, minding my own business in an real estate exchanger group that I used to go to every Friday. And a gentleman came in and said that he had a 24-room motel on Route 66 in Tucumcari, New Mexico. He'd take anything for it. I said, I got a couple lots in Northport, Florida. He said, done. And so just like that, I owned a motel. So
did you know where Tucumcari, New Mexico
I had
was?
never heard of it. So I got on my phone and Googled, Tucumcari, New Mexico, Apache Motel, and I couldn't believe how famous it was. I couldn't believe all the images, all the, expansive information about it. It was, I felt very lucky that I was able to get it, and so cheap.
Yeah.
So, and then I started looking at the geographics of it. It literally is right on Route 66. It literally was between the two, most famous restaurants here in town. I did live in Santa Monica for years, and from my penthouse I could see the end of the trail, and I would walk out to the pier and see the side,
So you knew Route 66.
I heard of it.
You knew the significance of it.
Right.
So when you saw that this place was as famous as it was, and it was on Route 66, did that influence your decision?
It had already been done.
Okay.
Then it was only a decision whether I keep it or I move through it, as I say. But I was fascinated. I did the everybody's trip from East Coast to West Coast when I was a kid, and I think I was in my 20s, and when I was actually moving out to Santa Monica, and going through the Midwest, I just was fascinated by the landscape, the architecture. The whole vibe here was just so cool. The big open spaces.
It is beautiful. It's inspiring. It's inspiring, right?
It really is inspiring. Yeah. Yes, and so when I got back here, I kind of went to some of the places I had always wanted to go. Santa Fe, of course, Taos. Had to go to Roswell, and when I came here, I was just fascinated in this cool little town. There's so much character here.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of every little town I ever lived in. I moved in with my grandmother for a few years in my teenage years, and it's just like homey.
It's really great for an artist to have that kind of eclectic vibe, and I feel like the Land of Enchantment is a great place for artists. So tell us a little bit about your vision for this place, because I look around, this is a beautiful gallery, and you've got some artist work here. And so tell us about your vision for this place.
I wanted to position myself a little bit different than the other, I would call them nostalgic hotels. Everybody was kind of playing off the retro 50s and 60s vibe. And so I wanted to do something a little different. And of course, the Apache name told me what to do here. So I wanted it to be very natural, using as raw elements as I can. The wood, the horns, cow skin, stone. I wanted to bring all those things into play. And the lobby, I mean, these days lobbies are kind of a lovely little thing to have, but you really don't need it. Everything's automated. Check in, you don't even need a lobby anymore.
Get right in.
And so I wanted to bring art here. I knew that art would save this town, and I've seen it happen, in multiple different towns. It gives a place for people to tell a story. The artwork that comes in here, everybody is telling a story through their lens, through their paintbrush, through their pencils, through their weavings, and it's all so interesting. When you see it, you don't have to be a connoisseur of art to feel what they're thinking and seeing. And you know that this exhibit right now with Casey Kiefer is just so interesting to see things that I've seen, but in a fresh way.
Different perspective, right?
Yeah, different perspective, and the colors and the, you know, the textures that he managed to capture in that 1 second is beautiful. You know, I think people who do see Route 66, they see the same images over and over and over again.
True.
But
That's true.
when you come and you see it and you see somebody else's little bit of difference, a little bit of take that's a little bit different, it's just so...
It tells a different story.
It tells a different story. It's really cool.
You can kind of, it's almost like a bridge to the artist and
Exactly.
what they were thinking or who they were at that time.
You're really putting on their skin.
Yeah.
It's really true. And so it's really fun to... I didn't know where I would find art, but art is just finding me. People are kind of calling me.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah, it's great. And so there was an artist, Cheryl Godin, who's going to be exhibiting here. She thinks in June. Someone saw it up on Facebook. She had painted a sign of the Apache Motel, and you know, the big sign.
Yeah.
And so I had to buy it, and I'm going to be doing kind of a raffle for the painting.
Okay.
For the summer, so that'll be fun.
So this is such a cool place. I mean, the Apache's legendary. The sign, like I mentioned when I came in, legendary, so cool. You're going to have a ton of Centennial travelers this year. So tell us a little bit about your plans for the next few months and beyond.
I have one Airbnb that's available right now. It is a suite. I say it sleeps 4 uncomfortably, and because we do have a pull-out couch, but you know, it's charming. You're right here. You're literally right. You can walk to everything cool in Tucumcari, and I'll be working my way down the motel, doing renovation as I go. The whole motel is really about 85% renovated. I need to be putting in custom showers right now. That's kind of my focus. The flooring's already done, the walls are already done, insulation's done, the roof is done, the wiring's done, the plumbing's done, everything.
It's a process.
It's a process. And, you know, but I had my vision was to always incorporate art. It would have like a solid colored wall with large scale artworks in the rooms. In each of the rooms, I should have showed you, there's little kivas that I have made.
I'll definitely go explore those.
Yeah, I'll show you around. And but you know, just I want to give people a sense. Most people do the route east to west, right? Yeah. So this is their first their first night, hopefully, in you know, in the Southwest, in the West. Yeah. So I wanted to give them a totally different feeling of what it's like. I wanted to have wooden benches around the kiva, fireplaces, and simple, quiet.
I love that.
Yeah, simple, quiet rooms. You know, they've been traveling. They have so much input constantly.
And isn't it amazing how the route evolves from Chicago to Santa Monica, and how, you know, what I found is that, I mean, these places truly encapsulate the areas. And so if you really want to experience America from east to west, you know, these places that you stay, you know, if you're on the interstate, you can't experience that. No. Because you could stay in the same hotel, same kind of cookie cutter motel every time, but there's things that are so unique, like look what you're doing here with the art. Right. And like we talked about, that, you know, your local artists, you know, it's speaking to people on a local community level. Right. And so you can't just get that going on the interstate, you know. You hit it on the head. It's what separates a vacation from a trip. Yeah. You know, it's like someone said, oh, do you travel or do you vacation? And I never thought there was a difference in the words, but it really is. Mm-hmm. You know, when you vacation, you pick up the vibe, you get the culture, you get to
you know, talking with people, I think, is one of the most fun things about
Those stories.
those stories.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so great to be able to hear their stories. You know, with Airbnb, sometimes they check in, they check out. I don't really get to meet them, but a lot of the times I do. We get a lot of, you know, we text and, you know, I tell them where to go and what fun things that we have here in Tucumcari. And, you know, I get a chance to hear their story, where they're from, why do they want to make this trip? And, you know, I think a lot of people, I think you're right. You know, this is Americana. This is definitely an American journey.
It is. It
yeah.
is. It's travel through time and kind of
Yeah.
the American experience.
It really is, you know, and the route, I confess I have not done the whole route, and but you know, you kind of don't need to, you know, in a way the people bring
It's going
their
to come
story.
to you.
In a way, yeah, I just sit back and wait for, you know, history to come, you know, chase me. But I also wanted to also be my own person here too. I didn't want to take on.
I like that. I love that. That's art.
Yeah.
That's your contribution for
Right.
art into this place. And I love that because, you know, I've heard a lot of people say that you can't save everything. You can't save everything on the route. But what we
Yes.
can do is we can make it new again.
Right.
And I love what you're doing is that you're bringing this artistic side and making something old, and maybe that would just be some worn out hotel sitting here into something new and vibrant
Right.
and exciting.
Right.
And so, you know, I think that kind of expresses what this experience for you is all about.
It truly is. Yeah. There's so much history already. You know, you can beat history to death. And I think to have a fresh take, but to also honor the past and have something that really includes the future and the whole process of that is really fun, and it's a real honor for me. You know, I think everybody always feels like, you know, they are a timekeeper or, you know, a placekeeper, and the whole owning of something that's so historic is a bit of a burden.
I bet it is.
A bit of a burden, and also, you know, a real honor. It really is.
Well, Joanne, I gotta say, I love what you're doing here.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing. How can folks learn more about you and what you're doing here?
I have a email. They can email me. They can text me. They can call me. I'm on Airbnb at the Apache Motel.
Okay, cool.
Apache.tucumcari@gmail.com. They can call or text me 413-281-2746. And I'm happy to talk with people. If you have art and you'd like to
Yes.
have it out
Yes.
here, we'd love to have you. You know, I'm not just doing Route 66. I'm not just doing photography. I would love pottery. I'd love abstract. You know, as long as it like sings to me, and we do have a bit of a panel that kind of juries some things. But you know, I think everybody loves nature. So things that involve nature, I just kind of drawn to.
Yeah.
But
And I think it fits here. I think it fits here. I mean,
like
I said, that pole that you painted, I thought it was a tree.
Yeah, that was what do I do with this thing that in the middle of the room? And I think that's you know, it's those problem-solving things that are part of like the whole renovation process. That is the creative and fun part.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do with a pole that's in the middle of the room? It's like, I'm going to paint it to look like what I thought was a birch tree, and everyone came in and corrected me. They said, oh, that's an aspen. How cool. And I was like, okay.
Go with it.
Google it. What does aspen look like? So I was like, oh my gosh, it looks just like a birch. So I just started doing that, and you know, because of there's a lot of Native Americans up in the Northeast, New England, where I'm from, and you know, so canoes made out of birch bark, and you know, it's just perfect. So it was like, it kind of became like the perfect background to a lot of what I did out here.
Well, I love the vibe.
you.
It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging out with us and telling us your story.
I love it. I love talking a little bit too much. So
It's okay. It's okay, folks.
As
You
long as
got
I have
you
an
got to
intro.
come visit the Apache. It is awesome. So
thank you so much.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
Be sure to follow us on social media at GoRoute66 for more great videos and information.